Welcome to the Corp Vault channel. In this video, we will discuss Vault storage policy properties. Please like, share, comment, subscribe for more videos, and you can follow us on Instagram. In this video we will discuss only storage policy options. We will not discuss about primary or other copy policy options. From the ComCell browser, expand Policies. Click on Storage Policies. In the navigation pane, you see the list of storage policies available in your environment. Let's first check the available options for a non-deduplication storage policy. Right-click on the policy. Hover over All Tasks to see available options under it. Run Auxiliary Copy. If you have secondary copies like synchronous or selective, then you can run the Auxiliary Copy job using this option. Auxiliary Copy Job Options. We use this window to select the criteria to perform an auxiliary copy operation. Select a storage policy. Displays the storage policy for which you will run an auxiliary copy operation. Select Source Media Agent. Select the source media agent from which you will run the auxiliary copy. If you leave it default, the system automatically picks up the appropriate media agent, especially when multiple media agents are associated with the copy. This improves the auxiliary copy performance. Copy selection. If all copies selected, then data from the source copy will be copied to all active secondary copies. If select a copy selected, then data from the source copy is copied to the secondary copy you select from the drop-down list of active secondary copies. Number of readers. This option allows you to select the data streams that are copied at the same time during the auxiliary copy operation. Number of streams. Here, you select the number of data streams that are copied at the same time during the auxiliary copy operation. Allow maximum. If selected, the maximum number of data streams will be copied at the same time during the auxiliary copy operation. Before selecting this option, cross-check if we have enough storage resources, and if the media agent can handle the overload. Start new media. If not selected, then the auxiliary copy automatically uses the current active tape media, or disk volume. If selected, then the current active tape media is marked as full, and a new tape media is used for the auxiliary copy. In case of a disk library, a new volume folder is created for the auxiliary copy. Mark media full on success. If selected, then the media used for the auxiliary copy operation is marked full after the operation is successfully completed. Use most recent full backup for auxiliary copy. This is mainly applicable for selective copy, where you chose not to automatically select jobs for copy. If disabled, only the previously selected full backup jobs, or manually selected jobs, will be copied to selective copy. If enabled, the most recent successful full backup for each subclient will be copied to selective copies. Wait for all parallel copy resources. If selected, the auxiliary copy will not start for parallel copies until all resources, that is media agents and libraries, are available for the parallel copy. Use scalable resource allocation. If selected, the scalability of the auxiliary copy is enhanced, and the ComServe resources are optimally utilized. Skip jobs that failed data verification. If selected, the backup jobs that did not complete the data verification operation with a successful status will not be copied. Save as script. It allows you to save this operation and the selected options as a script file in XML format. The script can later be executed from the command line interface using Q operation command. Right-click on the storage policy. All tasks. Run content indexing. Content indexing provides the ability to index the content. Once indexed, you can search both your protected or archived data for data discovery and other purposes. You should be able to run the first content indexing job after you have enabled content indexing on the storage policy and client. Also, you should have performed a full backup of the client data, and then you can run your first content indexing job. Content Indexing Options, General tab. By default, content indexing uses the media agent based on the copy precedence on the storage policy. If you want to select a different source media agent, you should be able to do it under Select Source Media Agent option. Number of readers. Number of streams, when selected, allows you to specify the number of data streams that will be used at the same time. Allow maximum. When selected, the maximum number of data streams will be automatically used at the same time for the content indexing operation. Job Initiation tab. You can run the job immediately. Schedule it to run on a specific day or time. Automate content indexing to run at a specific time interval. Click Advanced to access additional options for content indexing. You can change the default priority of job. Start this job in suspended state, so you can resume it later. Start when ComServe activity is low. This option applies to administrative jobs, for example, data aging jobs. You can configure your admin jobs to go into a queued state if 100 or more backup jobs are running or waiting on the ComServe. The queued admin jobs automatically start when lesser than 100 backup jobs are running or waiting. Job Rewrite tab. Enable total running time. Set the maximum time in hours and minutes from the time that the job is created. When the specified maximum elapsed time is reached, if the job is in the running state, it will continue, but if the job is not in the running state, when the specified time is reached, Job Manager will kill the job. Kill running jobs when total running time expires. This option will kill the job when the specified total running time has elapsed, even if its state is running. This option is available only if you have specified a total running time. Enable number of retries. It is the number of times that Job Manager will attempt to restart the job. Once the maximum number of retry attempts has been reached, if the job has still not restarted successfully, Job Manager will kill the job. Note that this job-based setting will not be valid if restartability has been turned off in the Control Panel, Job Management Settings. Alert tab. It allows you to configure and email the alerts associated with content indexing operation. Right-click on the storage policy. All tasks. Run data verification. The software just backup data. There is no way to be sure if the data is intact and valid for recovering until a restore operation has been performed on that data. Use data verification for storage policy to select the criteria for a data verification operation. Select Source Media Agent. Select the source media agent from which you will run the data verification job. If you leave default, then system automatically picks up the appropriate media agent. This ensures faster reads from the copy. Copy selection. All copies, if selected, backups from all storage policy copies will be verified during the data verification operation. Select a copy will allow you to select a copy in which all backups on this copy will be verified during data verification operation. Number of streams to be used in parallel. Number of streams allows you to select the number of data streams whose backups are verified at the same time during the data verification operation. Allow maximum if selected. The maximum number of data streams will be verified at the same time during the data verification operation. Jobs to verify. Newly available. If selected, only newly available jobs will be verified during the verification operation. Verification has expired. If selected, only jobs for which the verification has expired will be verified during the data verification operation. Both newly available and verification expired. If selected, both newly available jobs and jobs for which the verification has expired will be verified during the verification operation. Use scalable resource allocation. If selected, the scalability of the data verification operation is enhanced, and the ComServe resources are optimally utilized. Job Initiation tab. We have already discussed about these options. Advanced provides access to the advanced data verification options. Media tab. All picked jobs. If selected, all jobs residing on the storage policy copies selected will be verified. Only following media allows you to select only those backups residing on specified media to be verified during the data verification operation. Available media lists the media available for the selected storage policy copies. Selected media lists the media selected for this data verification operation. Alert tab. We already discussed about this. Let's continue with next option. Create new copy. You can create secondary copies like selective copy, synchronous copy, parallel copy, etc. We will try to cover these copy policies in another video. Create new snapshot copy. In a block level backup, or a snapshot backup, you take a snapshot of the volume, or storage for backup. A snapshot copy allows you to make additional copies of the snap backups. In the case of snap backups, the snapshot copy contains only the metadata information associated with the snapshot backup. A backup copy operation must be performed to replicate the data to the primary copy. We will try to cover this topic in another video. Clone. If you wish to create another storage policy with same settings and configuration, use this option. It is like to create an exact duplicate of an existing policy. Name the storage policy of your choice. A new storage policy is created. It has all the properties of the existing storage policy. However, you must manually associate the subclients with the new storage policy. Delete. You can delete this storage policy, along with contents. Before deleting a storage policy, you must reassociate all subclients of the storage policy to another storage policy. Reassociate all the DDB subclients of the storage policy to another storage policy. On the Confirm Delete pop-up window, read the notes. And then click Yes to proceed. In the Enter confirmation text, type Erase and Reuse Media, and then click OK. Storage policy is deleted. Run data aging job to free the space which was occupied by this policy. Hover over View to see available options under it. Media for refresh. It is ideally for tape libraries. This option will show you list of media picked for refresh. Media refresh enables you to move valid data from a tape media to another media. By using media refresh, you can consolidate data and recycle the old tape media, thus utilizing media efficiently. We will discuss this more in detail when we discuss secondary copies. Media for refresh window. This window displays all the media required for the media refresh operation. The status of the media. the barcode label of the media. For disk media, this value is displayed as CV_magnetic. If the media is available in a library, the name of the library, in which it currently resides. If the media is exported, the name of the library in which the last data protection job was conducted. For a disk library, the name of the disk library. For tape libraries, if the media is inside the library, this field displays the storage slot, or the drive name in which the media resides. If the media is outside the library, and you entered a location when you exported it, that location is displayed here. For disk libraries, the name of the mount path is displayed. The stream number used to write to the media also predicts the sequence per stream, in which the media will be required, by an auxiliary copy operation. The name of the destination storage policy copy for which the media is required. Amount of valid data on media that is not aged. Status of the media for refresh, picked, not picked, prevented, dependent or prevented. Recall media. Click this button to perform a recall media operation for the media selected in the list. It works well if vaulting in place. Media not copied. It identifies all media required for an auxiliary copy operation to be performed on a storage policy copy. For a primary copy, it displays all the necessary media, which has available backup data, and that data needs to be copied to all secondary copies, like synchronous and selective. For a secondary copy, it displays all the media necessary for an auxiliary copy to be performed, based on the criteria of the copy. We have already discussed each of the columns. Jobs. Displays all the available jobs on the storage policy. Job filter for storage policy, or storage policy copy. Use the below filter options to include the backup jobs of a storage policy, or storage policy copy. Client computers. Include all client computers. Includes all jobs for all of the client computers, whose subclients point data to this storage policy copy in the window. Exclude. Displays a list of all client computers, whose jobs that are to be excluded from the window. Include. Displays a list of all client computers, whose jobs that are to be included in the window. Backup type. Specifies to display only those jobs that correspond to the specified data protection operation. All. Includes all backup jobs in the window. Full. Includes full backup jobs. Incremental. Includes incremental and SQL transaction log backup jobs. Differential. Includes differential backup jobs. Synthetic full. Includes synthetic full backup jobs. Time range. Specifies only those jobs that have occurred within a specified time zone, and time threshold should be included in the window. Time zone. Lists the time zones. To change the time zone, click one in the list. Start time, end time, lists the date and time. To specify the time threshold, select a start day and time, and an end day and time. Relative time. Specify time in hours, or days. Click Advanced. Jobs in Storage Policy Advanced Filter Options, Foreign Snap Job. Show jobs that will be moved to tape. This option is used to view all the IntelliSnap backup jobs associated with the selected storage policy that will be moved to tape. Show jobs that will not be moved to tape. This option is used to view all the IntelliSnap backup jobs that will not be moved to tape. Aged data. Exclude aged jobs. Use this option to not display aged jobs. Include aged jobs. Use this option to display aged jobs. Show only aged jobs. Use this option to display only aged jobs. Jobs that have not been aged will not be included. Jobs that are retained by extended retention only. Use this option to display only those jobs associated with storage policy copies, defined with extended retention rules. Display jobs based on the storage policy time zone setting. Use this option to view jobs based on the time zone selection made in the job filter for storage policy. Backup copy job. Show jobs that are moved to tape. Use this option to view all the backup copy jobs that have already moved to the tape. Show jobs that will be moved to tape. Use this option to view all the backup copy jobs that will be moved to tape. Show jobs that will not be moved to tape. Use this option to view all the backup copy jobs that will not be moved to tape. Content indexing job. Show jobs that are content indexed. Use this option to display jobs that are content indexed. Show jobs that will be content indexed. Use this option to display jobs that will be content indexed in the future. Show jobs that are not content indexed. Use this option to display jobs that are not content indexed. Auxiliary copy jobs. Displays all the jobs that are available on secondary copy, along with to-be-copied jobs that are pending copy from the primary copy. Auxiliary copy job history filter. Time range. We have already discussed this option. Filter by job ID. Job ID, the job ID that you want to include in the history window. Job ID range, the start and end jobs that you want to include in the history window. Job status, all, states that all jobs should be included in the history window. Completed, specifies that jobs that were completed, and completed with one or more errors, should be included. Failed, states that system killed, and system failed jobs including backup jobs that failed to start, should be included. Killed, specifies that user killed jobs, should be included. Number of jobs. View all jobs. All jobs should be included in the history window. Desired number of jobs. Specify the number of jobs that should be included. Schedules. Displays all the sub-client schedules associated with this storage policy. Add to my favorites of the ComCell browser. Right-click on this storage policy. Select Properties. General tab, Storage Policy Name. Shows the given name to his policy. You can change the name of a storage policy at any time, without affecting the backup and restore capabilities. Storage Policy Type. Displays the type of storage policy, that is a data protection or archive or storage policy, in other words, standard policy, or disaster recovery backup. Number of copies. Shows the combined number of primary and secondary copies associated with this storage policy. Device streams. We discussed about this in the other video. One backup job stream needs one device stream. The value to be kept here is the maximum number of data streams that each copy within this storage policy can simultaneously support. The maximum number of device streams supported by a storage policy is 400. This could be a sum of the number of tape drives available in the tape libraries, plus the number of writers configured in the disk libraries and its configured mount paths. Enable stream randomization for backup or archiver jobs. This option is enabled by default. This means that the streams are randomly chosen to complete backup operations. This optimized distribution of data increases the efficiency, while data is copied to media, during auxiliary copy operations. If you see any STT pipe errors during backup, you might disable this option, and check if it helps fix the issue. Distribute data evenly among multiple streams for offline read operations. This option is enabled by default. The data is evenly distributed across multiple streams. This option is not applicable if source storage policy copy is pointing to tape media. Keep resource reservation cached for jobs on this storage policy. If enabled, the resources used by a subclient during a backup are kept in cache, so it can be reused by future backup jobs of the same subclient. The resource reservation is cached for backups triggered by any subclient associated with this storage policy. The time interval to keep the resource reservation information in the cache for backups is set in the Media Management Configuration and Control panel, and this value can be changed if needed. Disable storage policy for backups. This option hides the storage policy in the COMSEL console. Once hidden, it is not listed as available when creating or editing the associations of a subclient. Incremental storage policy. We discussed about this in the other video. You can select another storage policy that does not already have an incremental storage policy enabled from the drop-down list. Please note, if you use this policy for a while and then disable it, then the next backup is forced to be a full backup for all the subclients that are associated to this storage policy. Enable this storage policy for legal holds. Once you enable legal hold for a storage policy, it cannot be disabled later. Copy Precedence tab. We can alter the precedence identifier, which is assigned to each storage policy, synchronous and selective copy. Precedence. It is a numeric identifier assigned to a storage policy copy. You can specify the storage policy copy from which you want data to be restored during the restore options. Copy name. The name of the storage policy copy. You can move the selected copy one row up or one row down in the copy precedence list using the arrows. Associated Subclients tab. From here you can determine which subclients are associated with the selected storage policy. Reassociate. Click to reassociate individual subclients of this storage policy to another storage policy from the storage policy list pop-up window. Reassociate all. Click to reassociate all of the subclients of this storage policy to another storage policy from the storage policy list pop-up window. It's worth to note this message. Advanced tab. Prevent multiple copies of job across selective copies. Select this option to prevent the same set of backups to be copied across different selective copies. Also note, if there are multiple copies with the same selective copy rules, then the qualifying job goes to the copy which was created first, and therefore has the lowest copy ID. Enable storage policy level media password. If this option not enabled, then the COMSERV level media password is the default password. You can enable the storage policy level media password protection feature. The media password is used to prevent unauthorized access to the data residing on media used by the system for this storage policy. Change media password. Select this option to change the storage policy level media password. The media password must contain a minimum of 8 characters and at least one special character, and one uppercase letter. Time zone is the COMSERV time zone. To change the time zone, choose one from the list. Let's quickly review the other storage policy properties. Most of them are same, as we just discussed. Block level deduplication factor and KB. Specify the block size to be used for block level deduplication. This option is only applicable for block level deduplication. The minimum block size is 32 kilobytes, and the maximum block size is 512 kilobytes. The default block size is set to 128 kilobytes. We will end this video here. In our next video we will try cover storage policy copies, and their available options. Stay tuned by subscribing to this channel. Do subscribe for more videos. Thank you.